A habilidade dos países em mediar conflitos internacionais pode ajudá-los a diminuir a desigualdade social e a violência interna dessas nações. Essa relação entre diferentes disciplinas foi o tema da palestra da professora Nancy Erbe, de mediação de conflitos da Universidade de Califórnia. A palestra também marcou o fim das atividades da Cátedra de Fulbright aqui na PUC-Rio. Eu vou começar perguntando para ela quais são as habilidades que esses mediadores de conflitos conseguem ter e como eles aplicam nos seus próprios países para diminuírem essas taxas de desigualdade social e de violência. So Nancy, what are the abilities that these conflict mediators get to reduce the violence and the social inequalities in their countries, and how do they apply it to their own country?
Oh, great question. You know, to answer your question fully would take a long time. My students normally study mediation with a 2-year graduate degree, and that is just the beginning of their education. A little bit like broadcasting, it's a lifelong discipline. But let me give you a couple of examples. Most students need to learn how to diplomatically assert moral boundaries. Let's say somebody is threatening, someone is attempting to bully or intimidate a situation. They need to learn how to diplomatically assert boundaries so that a safe space is created. But before they're able to do that, they have to learn how to build trust with people who may have lifetimes of violence. And so that takes a lot of study, insight into why somebody may be acting violently towards them, the childhoods that they've had, the communities they live in where violence is a way of life. That takes maybe a course or two all by itself. So that's a beginning. I could continue to say more. I'm not sure how long you want me to answer this question. But the other thing that research shows is that most human beings have what we call a self-serving bias. We see ourselves in a more favorable light than others see us. And if we, like you and I, are talking across culture, we may misunderstand each other because we have grown up in very different cultures. So there needs to be a study of different cultures, how they communicate, how they problem solve, resolve conflict, and that's another piece. And then learning how to open our minds so that we understand people from other cultures and don't misjudge them, that's another piece.
Right. Bom, ela basicamente falou que é preciso saber implantar fronteiras morais. E para isso a diplomacia e a mediação de conflitos internacionais ajuda muito. Um exemplo que ela deu foi o de criminosos que cresceram num ambiente violento e que a habilidade dos negociadores de conflitos para resolver isso é grande, porque eles sabem, de uma forma diplomática, impor limites. Ela também falou da necessidade de nós sabermos nos comunicar com culturas diferentes das nossas. E isso, claro, que é algo típico dos diplomatas de qualquer função. Bom, agora eu vou perguntar como que o Brasil está bem posicionado para liderar as conversas internacionais de mediação de conflitos, porque ela falou que o Brasil está numa posição favorável para isso. Now, Nancy, how well positioned is Brazil to lead the international mediation of conflicts, and what is missing to the country?
Well, actually, Brazil is making a really good start in being so skillful at trade negotiations. I don't know if you were here for my talk, but Brazil is being recognized internationally for how skillful Brazilian diplomats negotiate. Adding to that, I would say, would be mediation education so that Brazilian diplomats aren't just prepared to do excellent trade negotiations, but they're prepared to take on all these other conflicts in the world. That would be incredible. And if Brazil could make a commitment to that type of education, I think Brazil would take off. Now, what has happened at your university is Norway has seen the potential, and they have funded in international relations here as part of the BRIC Institute a global unit for mediation for the Global South. That unit at the moment is not trying to teach students how to mediate. It's bringing in scholars and mediators so that they will more critically assess mediation for the Global South. But if they could consider adding mediation education, if your university could be part of that, that would be awesome.
Bom, ela falou que o Brasil já está bem posicionado para liderar essas conversas e que ela falou aqui mesmo na palestra que uma representante do presidente Clinton dos Estados Unidos disse que os negociadores brasileiros, em termos de comércio, são os melhores, são mais simpáticos, mais compreensivos com os outros. E que para acrescentar isso, é preciso treinar a mediação de conflitos. Isso ela já disse que já está sendo feito na Noruega, onde na universidade de lá, os mediadores internacionais vão para lá para ajudar exatamente nisso. E se as universidades brasileiras, talvez até mesmo essa aqui, fizesse coisas como essa, de ensinar mediação, além do que já ensina, seria muito bom. Próxima pergunta é sobre os problemas que os Estados Unidos e o Brasil têm em comum e como ajudar esses países, como esses países podem trabalhar juntos para enfrentá-los. So Nancy, what kind of problems, social and urban, do Brazil and the United States have in common, and how can they work together to solve them?
Wow, that's a huge question. Let me focus on one problem: police-community relationships. If you've been following the news in the United States, you have seen protest after protest because police have misused, abused their power with particularly poor and minority communities. I was here when the 10-year-old was shot by the police. You know, I've heard a bit about the military police and how the federal police is trying to clean up the corruption. That is exactly what we are fighting to do in the United States as well. And I think we should be sharing success stories with each other. This is too big of a problem, and it's happening too much for us not to be collaborating.
Bom, ela disse que essa é uma pergunta muito ampla e que respondê-la por completo demoraria muito, mas ela focou em que é a relação da comunidade com a polícia. Nos dois países essa relação é muito polêmica. Ela disse que ela estava aqui quando o menino de 10 anos tomou um tiro na favela e faleceu. E que ela também sabe das histórias, da relação entre as diferentes espécies de polícia, a polícia militar e a federal, e como a polícia federal está tentando melhorar os problemas de corrupção no país. E os Estados Unidos estão na mesma situação. E esses dois deviam realmente dividir histórias de sucesso entre eles para ajudar na resolução desses problemas. Well, Nancy, thank you very much for speaking. It was a great pleasure. Augusto Decker, para o canal da TV PUC-Rio no YouTube.